The thing I'm curious about actually is how do we know how this year's, if the new rules were in place this year, how many films would have qualified?
And how would the current crop of nominees that are about to be considered on Sunday night, how many of them would still be in the mix?
Well, we already know a couple of them wouldn't be.
Right.
You know, I'm just curious. It's like, what does it reduce the number?
No, it's impossible to know because the qualifications are different. People will qualify their films based on what the
Better
rules
This
are.
World could have done, could have qualified a different way, or what was the one that qualified via DocuWeeks could have done it differently.
Helen Back.
Yeah, HBO could have given Paradise Lost 3 a full theatrical release rather than sneaking it for a week in Fallbrook so that they could have their reviews timed with the TV.
Okay, can we
Wait,
just,
let's
I
hope
really
that
want to drill
happens.
around this full theatrical release, because maybe I'm dense, it's entirely possible, but what is a full theatrical release? Is it because it's in Fallbrook and it's not at the ArcLight? Is it because it was a week and not 8 weeks? Is it because it was in the New York Times? Or what? I mean, what are we actually talking about here? Let's be specific.
To me, if you show it for a week in Fallbrook with the minimum advertising, and you're not looking for reviews, and you just want to play it and for nobody to notice, which is what HBO does with a lot of their stuff.
Right.
I don't think because you want to have your premiere on HBO and advertise it as a premiere, then go for the Emmy.
Yeah, and that was proven by Taxi to the Dark Side, which won the Academy Award, and then 18 months later won the Emmy. And it's like, well,
Well, many films have
yeah, well,
shared
that seems
double dip.
Against one of my films.
Was it really which one?
For the Emmy.
This is where you get into the weeds, because I don't think that you can say what's I can't say that playing at Fallbrook for a week is not theatrical and playing at Sunset 5 for a week and closing is theatrical. Like, it either is or isn't, and that's why I think that the whole qualification and paperwork process is silly. It's like either a movie played in the theater for a week or it didn't before it was on television.
Right. And why? But now with these new rules, it seems that process has become one level more complicated than the paperwork you're already complaining about.
Actually, I want to ask you a question about that paperwork. So do you have to, first of all, you have to fax this, and then but this has to be print showtimes, print ads?
The only thing you have to fax is you have to fax your showtimes before you open to the Academy.
In print, they'd be...
No. You can just write them down. What you then have to show is you have to show your newspaper ad, because they require that you buy an ad in either the New York Times, the Village Voice, or Time Out New York. In New York, you have to buy at least a 1x2 ad in one of those papers. And then in LA, either the LA Times or the LA Weekly. So, just like, when they set the bar, everyone's going to go for the minimum bar they can. So what people do is they play the Coliseum in Harlem, and they play the Fallbrook out here because it's still in LA County, and they take out, they never do it in the New York Times or the LA Times. You take your ad out in the Village Voice or Time Out and the LA Weekly, and you have a little thing with no picture, just the text. And so basically, people are doing the bare minimum. And my whole point is that the bare minimum doesn't qualify you for an Academy Award. You should have to have some sort of presence.